All right, let's jump right in. Welcome, marketers of tomorrow, to this explainer. If you're sitting in an introductory marketing class right now, or just looking to understand the mechanics of how companies grow, you know that the alliances a brand makes can literally build an empire or completely ruin a public image overnight. So we're going to look closely at the massive choices modern brands face when deciding exactly who and what to associate themselves with.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're moving from the really high-stakes world of individual endorsements straight into the structured rewards of brand partnerships. And finally, we'll tackle the heavy responsibilities of corporate ethics.
Starting with Section 1, Influence, Endorsements, and Risk. This is basically the high-stakes game of celebrity promotion.
So what is a product endorsement? It's when a highly visible figure like a TV celebrity, an athlete, a pop star, or your favorite influencer recommends a company's product directly to the public. Now, while this is super effective for driving quick sales, it carries a pretty major ethical catch. You see, these are almost always executed purely for financial gain. The famous folks promoting the items, they rarely take the time to check if the product was manufactured ethically, or honestly, if it even works as promised. And since everyday consumers, especially young people, really trust these figures, they can be pretty easily misled.
A perfect, albeit stark, example of this ethical dilemma is when popular movie stars are paid to promote harmful products, like Gutka, which is a substance actually known to cause cancer. This is a big deal. It misleads young consumers into buying dangerous items and, as you might guess, has sparked some really intense legal and moral debates over whether these types of endorsements should even be allowed in the first place. It just shows you how quickly a quick cash brand strategy can become an actual public hazard. Moving on to Section 2, the Brand Partnership Advantage, where we look at strategic safety and mutual growth.
Okay, so contrast that short-term risk of an endorsement with a brand partnership. This involves two or more companies teaming up to do business together, share their audiences, and actively boost each other's success. The absolutely crucial point here is this: to protect their hard-earned reputation, it is vital that companies using this strategy only partner with other brands that maintain a clean, legal public image. I mean, you're essentially linking your brand's DNA with another's, right? So you have to be careful.
That brings us to Section 3, 8 core partnership strategies. Consider this the modern marketer's toolkit.
If you're building your foundational knowledge in an introductory marketing class, you really need to know these options. Think of this as your ultimate cheat sheet. There are 8 distinct partnership strategies you can use to share audiences and hit your specific business goals. We've got content, distribution, sponsorship, charity, joint product, product placement, licensing, and influencer partnerships. Each one serves a totally different marketing objective, so let's break down a few of the standouts.
First up, the joint product partnership. This is exactly what it sounds like. Two companies working together to build a brand new product from scratch. A brilliant example of this, Samsung aligned with Android software. By combining Samsung's awesome hardware with Android's operating system, this partnership effectively revolutionized mobile phones and captured massive market share. It was a total game changer.
Then we have distribution partnerships. If you're looking for a more immediate boost in sales, this strategy provides instant consumer value by bundling products together. Picture a grocery store giving away free movie tickets when customers make a certain purchase. The customer gets a fun perk, the movie theater gets guaranteed attendees, and the grocery store moves way more inventory. Basically, everybody wins.
As marketers, you also have to think about community integration. You can go the sponsorship partnership route, paying to sponsor local events, festivals, or school programs to get that local brand visibility. Or you can choose a charity partnership, where you team up with a charitable organization to raise funds for a good cause. This builds deep goodwill and a highly positive public image for your brand. Both definitely enhance your public standing, but they do it through entirely different emotional appeals.
Rounding out your toolkit are 4 more really vital strategies. You can utilize content partnerships, like a travel agency co-writing blogs with a popular travel website. You can strategically use product placement, like paying to feature Hyundai cars as prizes on popular game shows. You can leverage licensing partnerships, which means letting another business manufacture goods using your brand's logo or IP. Or, finally, you can pursue influencer partnerships, paying social media personalities to push a product directly to their huge followings. Mastering these 8 strategies gives you incredible versatility.
Moving right along to Section 4, brand reputation and ethics. This is the ultimate test of corporate responsibility.
Slowing down for a second as we look at what it means to maintain a clean public image, we absolutely have to examine corporate ethics.
specifically the implications of product testing on animals. This practice involves performing experiments on animals like mice, rabbits, guinea pigs, dogs, and monkeys to test the safety of drugs, cosmetics, or chemicals. And we have to recognize the really intense debate here. Some argue that animal testing is absolutely necessary to find life-saving cures for complex human diseases. But on the other side, animal protection groups strongly protest against the cruelty of it, demanding that animals be treated with compassion.
Visually, this stark contrast is practically defining the modern market. On one hand, animal testing faces massive controversy and consumer backlash over the suffering involved in painful toxicity or skin irritation tests. On the other hand, modern alternatives are rising fast. These are positioned by scientists as safer, highly ethical methods driven by sheer scientific progress. The question is, as a brand, which side of this market shift you want to stand on?
Which brings us to our final section. Section 5. The future of ethical marketing and embracing alternatives for a kinder image. Thanks to all that scientific progress we just mentioned, marketers now have a real choice, because excellent alternatives actually exist right now. We're talking about advanced computer modeling, testing on human cell cultures, which are known as in vitro tests, and conducting perfectly safe trials on human volunteers who give their explicit consent. These methods aren't just viewed as more ethical. Many actually argue they provide data that is much more relevant to human use anyway.
And the market is actively responding to these alternatives. We're seeing a massive global shift as countries begin phasing out the practice entirely. This was really punctuated by Europe completely banning cosmetic testing on animals in 2023. And as a direct result of that kind of legislation, a ton of global companies are now just voluntarily stopping the practice to follow suit.
Ultimately, moving away from animal testing isn't just some scientific shift. It is a critical, calculated, strategic decision. Companies are making this shift to present a kinder, more ethical image to their buyers. Consumers are watching closely, and they are voting with their wallets for brands that demonstrate actual corporate responsibility. Which leads us with this final thought. As you step out of that introductory marketing class and begin to build your own brand out in the real world, you have to ask yourself, are you going to risk your public image on a quick, purely financial endorsement, or are you going to build a lasting, powerful reputation through strategic, highly ethical partnerships? Carefully consider whether the alliances you make today will stand the test of both market success and corporate responsibility tomorrow. Thank you for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning and keep building better brands.